With Williamson County now added to the federal disaster declaration, neighbors can now apply for individual FEMA disaster assistance.
But as that process begins, many families are still struggling and picking up the pieces. Nabil Ramadna spoke to a family who says they lost everything in the flooding.
So that bottom building, the metal building, that is our home.
It's hard for Montana Perales to relive the night her home flooded.
So it would have been over my head.
Early morning on July 5th, the San Gabriel rose to record levels. The river rushing near downtown Georgetown, causing evacuations for people living nearby.
It is very devastating.
Perales lives in Weir and along the river. Her husband, 3 kids, and their dog all had to leave the first floor apartment when water started to rise.
So we started packing up as little as we could. We grabbed a few clothes.
They managed to get out okay, but their home was flooded.
I mean, we lost everything, all of our furniture, our main family vehicle.
Clothes, appliances, toys for the kids, and beds. She says it's hard to see her kids confused on why they're staying in a hotel.
They just keep asking, why can't we go home? When can we go home? Why is there water in the house?
On Friday, the city of Leander held a press conference to talk about the flooding along the San Gabriel.
It's never been this high. I've been here 15 years. I've never seen it this high.
Perales says she's now hoping to get back on her feet, mainly so the kids can feel some normalcy. But it will be hard with much to replace.
I mean, we are very blessed that we all were able to make it out okay. Not many people were as blessed as we are. But definitely now we don't know what to do.
In Williamson County, Nabil Ramadna, KXAN News.
1 week since floodwaters rose in central Texas, leaving behind staggering loss.
More than 120 people have died, at least 170 people still missing.
And for survivors, lives are forever changed.
Homes reduced to rubble, sky-high piles of debris littering riverbeds, and the road to recovery ahead, long and uncertain.
And crews seen here behind me in the Kerr County town of Center Point today searched in chest-deep water, while just miles away, President Donald Trump saw the damage with his own eyes.
KXAN's Brianna Hollis takes us inside the president's visit today.
Well, the president addressed the heartbreak and the damage. He thanked first responders. He touted the federal aid he supplied, and he also talked about improving the warning system. He and the First Lady met with families in Hunt before coming to the roundtable at the Emergency Operations Center.
It's hard to believe the devastation. Trees that are 100 years old just ripped out of the ground. We just visited with incredible families that look, they've been devastated. They lost their child or 2 children, and just hard to believe what, I've never seen anything like it.
A visit from the president, often a sign of the greatest of tragedies. That proves true here in Kerr County, where Trump walked through piles of debris in Hunt.
A little narrow river that becomes a monster, and that's what happened.
I think there's a lot of questions. Why weren't people alerted?
Community members aren't just grieving, they're starting to ask why and how.
Still a lot of questions.
We're also taking historic action to ensure that such a nightmare never happens again.
Texas Agriculture Commissioner Sid Miller hoping that comes in the form of a more robust alert system.
Could have saved a lot of lives if we'd had some kind of alert system. And I think the legislature will also act on that too.
And just weeks after the president vowed to overhaul how federal disaster aid works, several federal resources are at play in the flood's aftermath, both in the form of boots-on-the-ground help and emergency declaration funds.
We cannot thank you enough for deploying the Coast Guard, deploying the resources, and as you pointed out, immediately.
Some other notable names at the roundtable: Senator Ted Cruz, Attorney General Ken Paxton, several first responders. Dr. Phil, who's a native Texan, was even there, and he shared a note encouraging people to support those who lost loved ones by consistently checking in and making sure those folks are never forgotten. In Kerrville, I'm Brianna Hollis.
Here in Central Texas, the Salvation Army is one of many organizations hard at work right now to help those in need in the wake of these deadly floods. Major Lewis Reckline is joining us here this afternoon. He is the Austin area commander of the Salvation Army. Major Reckline, thanks so much for being with us and taking the time today.
Thank you.
So talk to us a little bit about how the Salvation Army has really jumped in to send out people to help in this situation.
Sure. It's amazing in a situation like this, the community comes together very quickly. So volunteers started immediately asking us how they could help, and they would go down there so that we could help house people, feed people, and get people back on their feet, not just those who are affected by the flood, but first responders as well.
And what do those services look like? You just touched on it there, but explain a little bit more.
Sure. What we will do is housing, hotels, different places, apartments, wherever we need to put them. For those who didn't lose everything, but they need help in their house, cleaning kits. You know, the important things, small things like diapers, hygiene, food, and we just give that to them as much as they need.
As the Salvation Army teams and volunteers have been out there, what are some of the challenges that they've been facing?
Emotions. Seeing a devastation like this, doesn't matter how strong your personality is, it really has an effect on them. The other thing is they don't want to go home because they want to help to the very end, and so that speaks volumes. But it's a lot of hard work, and having to see some of this devastation is very difficult for some of them.
And it just hits so close to home.
It does.
Yeah.
Yes.
And what about people who want to get involved? I know you told me a little bit earlier that you've already gotten lots of calls, people saying, I'd like to help too. So what would you tell them?
I would tell them to go to the website, Help Salvation Army, or helpsalvationarmy.org, and it will lead them, and it will help them and guide them into where they need to be and what that looks like.
And the promise is that you all will just keep doing this kind of work.
Exactly, yes. And here in our community, we're getting a plethora of donations to help as well.
Well, I know that the work is only going to continue from here, so I appreciate you taking some time to talk a little bit about this and maybe get some people involved with it. So Major Lewis Reckline, thanks again.
Thank you.
Well, after the deadly, another organization stepping up to help in the wake of these devastating floods here in Central Texas is the Junior League of Austin. We're joined now by Amy Miller, president of the Junior League of Austin. Amy, thanks so much for joining us here in person especially.
Thank you for inviting me.
So you were telling me that you all jumped in to be able to try to collect some supplies because of a personal connection with your group. Talk to me about that.
That's right. So obviously in the wake of the devastating floods, our members were severely impacted, some personal connections, and we had a member reach out and just ask, hey, can I put a call out to members and just get some supplies to take to my home church? We put the call out, and it quickly turned into something way more. Our members of the community, they all stepped up very quickly, brought supplies to our Community Impact Center in North Austin, and we then went to work collecting, sorting, organizing, and then distributing to the Kerrville area for their most urgent needs and just to get them some immediate support down there.
And you were saying it ended up being 2 box trucks, right?
It ended up being 2 full box trucks that we were able to take to Kerrville that were generously donated by another organization in the area. And then we kept some supplies back for our local community because we know we have impacts here close to home, and so we did keep some supplies back for those individuals as well.
So you have those supplies on hand, but you're also directing some of your members and other people in the community to give to certain efforts and causes. What are those? That's correct. What we've heard, we've spent a great deal of time this week listening and learning from our community leaders and our neighbors. And what we've heard is they're at capacity a lot with supplies. And so we are encouraging our members, encouraging community members to, if they can, donate monetarily. And some of the organizations we are supporting are the Central Texas Community Foundation, the Arc of the Highland Lakes, which is supporting Burnett County efforts, and then the Community Foundation of the Texas Hill Country. All causes that we have talked to in the past few days, so people can learn a little bit more about that on our website. But Amy Miller with the Junior League of Austin, thank you so much for doing this and for the work that you and your members have put in this week too.
Absolutely.
We appreciate it.
And thank you so much for being here, for inviting me. And we're here to help support, and we stand ready for our community.
All right. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Flooded roadways here in the Austin area sustained damage, and some of those repairs will take weeks to fix. KXAN's traffic anchor Erica Brennis spoke with the Texas Department of Transportation about its work to get the roads back open.
Joining me right now is Brad Wheelis with the Texas Department of Transportation, the Austin office. I know, Brad, you guys have been working around the clock this week because some of the roadways have sustained some minor damage and in some cases some major damage, right?
Exactly. And a lot of folks have heard that RM 1431 up at Cow Creek, that's in the Lago Vista area, that bridge was completely wiped out. And so we're going to have to do a complete reconstruction over there at Cow Creek. We're making that a priority. We are trying to push that through as quickly as we can. So this week, the folks have been working on a bridge design. We're going to try to fast track this thing and get a contractor on board as soon as possible. So the goal is to have a brand new bridge in place as close to the start of the school year as possible. That's really pushing it because that's really a matter of weeks away. But we think we can get the bridge built in a matter of weeks as opposed to drawing it out over a number of months or even years as a typical bridge would take.
I know 377 also between Mason and Junction sustained some major damage, but y'all were able to get that repaired pretty quickly.
Yeah, when we got a break in the weather, we were out there almost immediately when the weather broke, and we started clearing debris, making some repairs. We were able to get that open. What we're going to do now, Erica, is go through some of these areas where we've made temporary repairs and do the permanent repairs. Right? What we needed to do is get these roadways open, get traffic moving. That's our priority at TxDOT, and now we'll go through and we'll shore everything up with more permanent repairs.
According to drivetexas.org, it shows that northbound 360 at Spicewood Springs, that far right lane is blocked through July 17th. Is that the latest information you have for that closure?
That is the latest information. Folks can expect that right lane to be closed for some time. We did make a temporary repair. It looks like we're going to have to go in and make a more permanent repair before that is safe for folks to drive on. And so that's another one of our priorities. We're looking at that, figuring out a game plan, but folks should count on a lane reduction there on northbound 360.
Okay. Well, Brad, thank you for your time and good luck with all of these road repairs that were pretty damaged by all this flood and rain.
Thank you, Erica.